Do AAA games suck now, or does the average player suck right now? Today, I want to talk about competitive gaming and how it's been basically ruined by Twitch, but it's also changed entirely because of the demands of the casual gamers. You see, recently we had a whole bunch of AAA games come out that were supposed to be live service, always online games that everyone's going to be enjoying. They've got a competitive edge and you're going to love them and it's going to be great. And then they slowly but surely lose all of their player bases or tank immediately. Meanwhile, we've got huge titles that aren't supposed to be huge. Independent games such as Helldivers 2 or Lethal Company taking over Twitch. Everyone's playing these games. Everyone loves these games. Why are people enjoying these games that are made by like one or two people like Phasmophobia or Lethal Company, or even a small team like Helldivers, and they're doing nothing but complaining about your latest Call of Duty or your latest Battlefield or the finals or the one that everyone's going to bring up, Suicide Squad? Well, the first answer to that is going to be relatively simple. Corporate overlords.
Sir, I have terrible news. Helldivers 2 has sold more copies than we could possibly imagine. What do we do, sir?
What are we gonna do? Nothing. What do we need to do? Our fan base is full of a bunch of idiots. They'll pay for nothing. We have to do nothing. We sit here and make money or doing nothing.
So if I'm making a game like Lethal Company, I don't have to wait for anything. If there's a problem, if there's a bug, I can go in there, fix it, and just release the update. But if you've got a game like Suicide Squad that comes out of the gate broken beyond belief with a whole bunch of bugs and issues and server problems, well, you have to work through your team of 200 people. That's going to take some time. You then have to get that approved by the various managers and people involved in the corporate side of the thing. It's then got to go up the ladder to make sure that there's no issues or problems. And then it's got to come down the ladder, and then it needs to be disseminated out to the actual platforms.
Chutes and Ladders really has its ups and downs.
That's the easy answer, isn't it? That's the one that we all kind of expect, because it's the answer to a lot of other issues. Why is your favorite movie in development hell for 10 years? That's because Sony doesn't know what they want to do with Spider-Man.
See ya.
Why is your favorite fast food joint not getting your favorite product on time? That's because of some franchisee and corporate overlord greed. So, of course, we've got the easy answer to that one, but there's a bit more too. Why is Helldivers succeeding? Lethal Company succeeding? Why is Among Us a big deal? But people don't really care about the competitive gaming as much anymore. Well, recently a video came out here on YouTube. I can't think of the creator off the top of my head, but I will link the original video down below. And again, just like what happened with my AI girlfriend video, he hit on the head of what I was originally going to talk about. You see, the concept is, when Twitch became a big deal, it kind of ruined competitive gaming because people saw things like Fortnite making millions and millions of dollars being good at Fortnite. So it kind of became a game to play the game. You wanted to gamify what you were doing. You wanted to basically play Fortnite 24/7 because it could lead to millions of dollars. Why go to college? Why get a real job when you can play Fortnite every single day? Well, the simple answer is, one in like a million make the $1 million. No one's that good except for that one guy, but that doesn't matter. Every kid thinks they can be that $1 million guy. They all want to compete. So what ends up happening is everyone jumps onto a game like Fortnite. They learn what the meta is. They all try to get the meta, and then they all try to go super hard, super sweaty, and go insane. I'm a fan of a game called Destiny, or at least I was before Destiny became what it is today. And there is a whole entire industry of people who will play Destiny, get super good at playing Destiny, and then charge you hourly to play with you. This is not a joke. These same people will either charge you hourly or charge you for a sub or two on Twitch to carry you through the competitive side of Destiny, or charge you to do the PvE side of Destiny. It's a different argument in itself. So there is money in these games. You can also, for the record, go find somebody to carry you through the ranks in Fortnite. You can go find someone to carry you through any competitive games ranking system. That's because these people play these games nonstop, get super good at them, and then they want to make money off of that. And I got a few friends who have done this for a living, and some are very lucrative, and some can barely make their rent. It depends on how good you are and how willing you are to be on call to at all times be called to help this person for $10.
Wait a minute.
Now, I'm preaching to the choir. Most people who play video games competitively are aware that there are tryhards and there are sweats, and we all joke about these people running around with .tttv or whatever in their name, or .live, .kick, whatever they want you to think they're on right at that moment. And I won't lie, when I see that stuff, I will see if they're on Twitch or on Kick, and I'll show up to them having 3 viewers, one of which is them, the other one's me, and then there's some random guy. And I just laugh about the situation because everybody thinks that in order to be a Twitch streamer, you just hit go and then just stare at the screen and don't entertain anymore. No, what I'm here to tell you about is how this all ties together with everything going on. So people are tryharding in your favorite video games, right? Okay, cool. That kind of ruins games to an extent for the casual. If I'm working all day and I get off of work at 6 or 7 o'clock and I jump into a lobby and say Call of Duty, I'm going to be immediately dropped because I did not spend 12 hours playing Call of Duty, getting super, super good at Call of Duty. And it comes down to those tryhards who are trying to make all the big bucks on Twitch or esports or whatever, which is the other video that exists on YouTube right now. But the question I'm trying to ask today and I'm trying to get to is, why are independent games better than AAA games today? What happened to AAA gaming? Well, it's what I just said. You see, Helldivers made an interesting statement that really got me thinking about this topic. People asked for them to create a competitive angle of it, a PvP side, or a leaderboards, or a ranking system, something that people could compete at. And their response was, no. We don't want this to become a competitive game at any level. We feel that that breeds toxicity. As a matter of fact, during the launch month of Helldivers, people started complaining that there was a pseudo meta. I mean, you have 5 guns. Of course, one of them is going to be better than the other guns, but whatever. But people complained about a meta. And the answer that Helldivers had was to make everything even. We have no more meta. The only thing they really went in and nerfed was that there was an exploit going on that even I used to super power level yourself and get your war bonds, which is the in-game currency to buy the premium items and stuff like that. But the response from Helldivers I found interesting, and it really got me to think about this topic when that other video showed up and kind of twisted what I was going to be talking about. You see, Helldivers is wildly popular right now, right? But I don't hear people being toxic. I don't hear people complaining. I don't hear people coming up with the meta of what you need to do. There was a brief period before they nerfed that out and got rid of their meta where people were complaining you had to do it, but it's not generally in Helldivers. In Helldivers, you jump on, win or lose, it doesn't matter. It's all about the insanity of it, the explosions, the guy around the corner that messed up. This guy shot me for my samples. What is going on? I don't even know. It's hilarious. And a few other games came to mind that were very similar in that vein. Lethal Company has no competitive side to it at all. I think they might be working out leaderboards or something, but if they are, it's barely in there. Lethal Company is all about showing up with your buddies, going inside of the building, and then letting that building randomly generate a maze so you can outrun random monsters. It's about goofiness, insanity, and you just laugh with your friends. Oh! Get out! Get out! Among Us became huge because of Twitch streamers. But after everyone found it through that, people to this day continue to play it. They continue to play Among Us. And why? There's a little bit more of a competitive edge in Among Us, but it's still about the stupidity and the insanity and what is going to happen and who's doing what and ha 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 ha. What? Another great example of a game that blew up that didn't have a crazy competitive side to it, Fall Guys, was more about just how stupid and insane it was. Yes, you're technically trying to win a game show, and of course you had a few tryhards trying to do stupid things, but it became like this fun, goofy game of watch me be a jerk because I got to the finish line first and I'm going to knock people off. I noticed that trend when Final Fantasy XIV made a clone of Fall Guys, and people did the same thing, blocking the exits. And then I play another game called Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I know, insanely long name, but they have a Fall Guys mode in it, and people do the same thing in that. Yes, you care about winning, but you don't, because you're just laughing because you got hit by a smoke screen and then hit by a random arrow, which booped you 50 feet in the air, and then you landed on a trampoline that launched you off the side of the map. And you're just kind of like, I don't even know what happened. That was funny. You see, I think independent games are overtaking the AAA games. One, because they can rush out their updates quicker. Helldivers and Suicide Squad both launched with problems. Helldivers already fixed the problems, majority of them, and then rolled out their first content patch. Suicide Squad took a month and a half to fix some of the problems, still has some major problems, and we're 2 weeks away from having the first content patch. And that's like a 2-month period. So obviously the answer of corporate overlords slowing things down is there. But I also think there's the other side of the token. Independent games are doing better because we don't have to deal with the try-hard kids who are being influenced by Twitch and esports tournaments to go win $1 million. I don't jump onto Helldivers and have a bunch of people making fun of me or giving me issues if I get blown up 2 or 3 times. If they are, it's because I'm hanging out with my buddies and they're doing it to make fun of me in general. Now, obviously, this doesn't pertain to everybody. In every game, you're going to find a sweat who's going to give you a hard time. I'm talking about my general experience playing these games with random people. Because I know someone is already going down to the comments down below and typing, oh my God, I had the sweatiest guy in Among Us the other day. And they're going to exist. You're always going to have a try hard. But there's a difference when the game can make you money due to tournaments and high viewer counts versus you're just try harding in a game that nobody barely plays. Or a lot of people play, like Among Us and Lethal Company and stuff like that. And before you say that Lethal Company, Among Us, and these titles that I'm naming got super popular on Twitch, they did. That's how a lot of people found them. But then they go off at their own communities, avoiding the try-hard mentality. What I'm boiling this video down to is the desire for kids to grow up and play their video games 24/7 and make money from it is what leads to them playing them 12 hours a day to practice to become these god-tier Call of Duty, Battlefront, Finals game players. That makes it nearly impossible for the casual gamer to play. So the casual gamer drifts over to the independent games where that competitive edge isn't there. Helldivers, Lethal Company, Among Us, to name a few. Now, before all of you start going crazy and being like, Brenny, that's just because you're bad at games. No, I tried the let's stream a game because even I fell prey to that. And I will admit it. When Overwatch first came out, I had a buddy and we climbed right through the ranks and we had to play way too much Overwatch and I stopped liking Overwatch. My friends that I mentioned who played Final Fantasy XIV and Destiny and did it to make money don't like the games anymore. So trust me, I've seen both sides of the coin on this one. This is not a situation of I'm just bad at games trying to give an excuse. I just think independent games are doing better because they're just making them for fun as opposed to trying to play along with the Twitch meta and trying to make it highly competitive so that people want to play it 24/7. And that's what it boils down to in my take on what's currently going around in the gaming world. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget, I will put out a video on a weekly basis, and we're soon ramping up to 2 videos a week, looking at all kinds of crazy and bizarre topics. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.